Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to Syncro Open Office Hours. My name is Hannah, and I'm going to have this lovely lady introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brandy. Nice to see you all virtually see your name on a Friday or Saturday for some. We're excited you're here.
Yes, and we're excited to be here. We absolutely love doing these. For those of you joining for the first time, we do this at the same time every week. And this is a session for you to ask anything that you need to. We love Synchro. You guys love Synchro. And so let us know what questions that you have. Couple housekeeping things, especially if you are newer. We actually use the Q&A for questions. This helps Brandy and myself kind of keep track of who's answering what. So any questions that you have, please feel free to drop them into the Q&A. The chat we're actually going to use just for Brandy and myself, but those are going to be for you to access any knowledge-based articles or videos that we're wanting to share. So if we're going to screen share today to answer questions the best we can, and then drop in some other information for you into the chat for you to reference at a later time. Don't forget to grab that before the session ends, just because it is going to go away. But this is recorded and posted to our YouTube page. So usually it gets posted later today or on Monday. And so then that way it is accessible. So if there's anything that you wanted to reference back, it's always going to be available on the YouTube page for you. We are going to try and answer the questions the best that we can today. If for some reason we can't, and it's going to be better for technical support to get involved, we will recommend that you reach out to technical support and we can drop their email in the chat box for you. But other than that, we're excited to be here. And when you guys are ready, go ahead and start dropping the questions into the Q&A.
Awesome. I see a couple in here. So I can go ahead and take a stab at a couple of these that are in here. One is there any way to export contacts and update via upload? I actually, let me just confirm. I don't think you can export the contacts. Let me just confirm where you're going to get most of the exports are in the report section. So you'll see like there's a customer export. I don't think the contacts are in here, Hannah, unless you know something that I don't think the contacts are going to be exported. I'll confirm. I'll double check in our support queue too and just make sure. But this is where like you'd find, just for anyone else who's on the line curious, invoice export, ticket export, customer export, line item export, everything like that. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'll confirm, but I really don't think so. And then I also see Suzanne, welcome. Hi, new user. We're almost 100% set up, but wanted to learn more about the CRM portion. How do we set up people that are not customers, but prospects? So really, really great question. There's going to be a couple things in here. So we do have a leads module. If I were to get an email from someone that the domain didn't exist in the system already, or the email didn't exist, it's going to create a lead for me. A lead is essentially still going to create a customer for you in the system. But what you can do is I actually have a custom field for the customers that says like customer type. And maybe you want it to be like residential or business, lead, etc. So what it's going to allow you to do is, if in fact you're like, actually, this is a contact for an existing customer, you can attach it here, but you're going to be able to put them through a sales funnel. So I can track my communication with this lead. Is it the first time we've chatted? Am I waiting on them? Did I win it, etc. I can still schedule appointments for them. I can add attachments to their record here. I've got my email, and then of course I can merge it with another lead if I need to. So in your leads module, it's going to show you, okay, how many pending sales, my total value, etc. if you're filling out all of those. Now I can also filter these by new. I can filter these by not status. I'm always thinking status, but like where you are with your communication with them. And then you're also going to have the option, if we go into the admin section, I want to make sure that I'm doing the right one. Where are we? Where are we? Okay, website integrations or custom widgets. I think it's going to be under the website integration. Yes. So what you would do is you could embed this. There's a code that you could embed on your website. If someone starts this new service ticket and it is not an existing customer, that would also create a lead. So it's like a lead capture form for you. And then for any of you that have a physical location on the leads, this isn't really made to be manual lead entry. I mean, you could. This is kind of like you walk into Apple and you check in with the person with the iPad, right? And you put in your details. Well, this is kind of the same thing. So I could have this up on an iPad and then they could fill out these details. It would create a lead for you. Or again, if you do have someone who's going to be doing the like I guess entering in your leads for you, then they could do that too. So hopefully that helps.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to take a couple in here. Larry's asking how to add a CC onto a ticket. Doesn't seem to work. No problem, Larry. Let's go ahead and check out a ticket. And so when you are adding the CC, the trick is to just hit enter when you're adding the CC. That way they get in there. And so sometimes if I'm coming through and I'm adding a CC, so if I were just to add myself, p.com, that then it kind of like won't do anything. If you hit submit, you got to hit enter so that it becomes gray. And then when you hit submit, that then now that email will be added as a CC. And so hopefully that helps. Larry's also asking how to bill for a standalone ticket for a client not on contract. Can you walk through the whole process? Yes. So a couple different things for you, Larry. So you can always take a ticket into a specific invoice, but let's say the customer is not necessarily a customer of yours yet. Maybe they called in, they're fresh. Hey, so we need to create them a customer, create them into a ticket, and then we're going to make them an invoice after we log our time. So what you're going to want to use for that is ticket workflows. These are actually in the admin section. So in admin, you can go to tickets, and then there's going to be ticket workflows. So this is where we're determining what information do we want when we're going ahead and opening a ticket. And so with the, for example, everything workflow, if we click on this, this has got all of the fields that we can enter. So creating an appointment with them, creating a customer, creating a ticket. You can even create like devices, put in worksheets, add ticket charges. So you want to customize that workflow to be entering the customer, the ticket, all of that good stuff. That way, when you're opening a new ticket, that you can decide what workflow you need. And so let's say the customer already exists, but in this example, you can also create a customer. So if I want to look up my customer and then put them in here and then be able to, I'm just going to update it in here, there, and then create my ticket. So we'll just go ahead and put in the ticket subject, choose the issue type, and then do it this way. That now once we hit save and we generate the ticket, you are able to log your time. For those of you newer to Syncro, if you haven't set up your labor rates in the products and services section, that's where I get this list. So in products and services, you can set up all of your hourly rates. And then that way I can be logging my time and then hit make a new invoice. Once you make a new invoice, then you're able to send it out to the client. So the client can either pay in the customer portal. If you have a payment processor integrated with Syncro where you can collect the payment, you could do that too, but you're able to email the invoice from here. So hopefully that helps. I'm going to grab another question from Warren. I see a custom report writer is showing, but I don't see how to make a new report. So good question, Warren. I'm wondering if you're referencing the executive summary report builder or maybe the internal report builder. So with these, you have to make a template first. So if you're seeing here and you're not seeing any templates here, go ahead and just hit open report templates and then make a new report template. So then that way you can insert different elements. These are super cool, you guys. You can really customize what data you want to share with the client, but then that will allow you to then generate the report. Hopefully that helps.
Awesome. Thank you, Hannah. Sorry, I'm just reading through all of Jeremy's questions. So ignore my question. I just went and looked and it's now actually in the order created instead of the reverse. Look before typing in the future. No problem. I was over there just asking support if that had changed. So let me just disregard that message over there. I'm glad you got that answer. And then Is it possible to enter time records as a tech? Okay, let me open up. I think I have Nicholas' question. So, what if I have a client that has multiple businesses that are invoiced to different companies, but the billing email is the same? When I put in the email for the customer, it states it's already being used. Yes, I have to send the invoices to the same main bookkeeper. This actually comes up pretty often. So I'm just going to share what I would recommend doing for this. So the main customer email address, if you do have it set as required, then that will need to be a different email address. So usually that's like main point of contact or the company address. Some people put in like a dummy email because this cannot be the same on different customer records. What can be the same is the same contact. So this comes up pretty often. I might have Brandy as the same contact for 5 different customers, and then Brandy is going to receive the billing emails for 5 different customers. That's how you would need to set it up. Now, keep in mind, this would be like 5 different logins if you were giving them access to like a customer portal essentially, and you wanted them to do that. But if it's just simply sending over the email, then just create them as different contacts. You'll definitely be able to do that. So hopefully that helps. Can we add fields to estimates? Would like to capture the problem the estimate is solving. So in terms of the estimate section, so let me just populate an estimate here. Most of the time I'm finding that people will use like I guess there's a couple different places. So I don't think I did this, but Crown Corp, hey, that's my last name. Someone did this. So you could do like an estimate message if you want. And then if you want to make sure that this estimate message shows on the estimate itself, you can change the PDF and email template inside of the admin section. There's an estimate one, and you can make sure that the estimate message tag is shown if that's what you want. Otherwise, in terms of like the details, you'd have to put it in the description, but there's not like a way to create like a whole new field here. So hopefully that helps with that. And I don't think, Warren, I guess I'll go ahead, and your message is kind of dangling at the top here. So how to add more meaningful checks to an endpoint. I'd like to hear a little bit more about what you're hoping to do. I mean, if you're just going in like the policy itself and you're creating alerts, what a lot of people will do is, if you haven't had the opportunity to play around with the automated remediations, this is what a lot of people will do. So you can use, like, let me just create a new one here. Essentially anything in the policy you can set up here, but you might want to set up triggers. I've got custom scripts in here, and you can monitor off of any of those, any even custom event log IDs, things like that. But you can definitely set up some different checks in here. Okay, if this happens, I want to do this, this, and this. Really great way to kind of go full cycle. But I'm not sure. I would say if you're looking for more, then I would customize your policy a little bit more. I'd be adding additional event log IDs. So if there's anything you want to do, you just go search the event log ID for things like failed logins and add it here in the system. Process and service monitoring, things like that, or using custom scripting. Hopefully that helps.
Thank you so much. Warren just has some additional comments like heavy disk activity check, or he's saying all I see is a ping in web page. For our kind of capacity for that, definitely I would recommend writing into support. If there's something that you're wanting to monitor or set up and you're feeling like you're not natively seeing it, absolutely write into support. And then that way they can really help you configure it out in the way that you're needing.
Yeah, and the pings and HTTP checks, those were really designed before we had SNMP monitoring as well. So if you're wanting to monitor like printers, routers, switches, NAS, access points, firewalls, things like that, we do have SNMP monitoring too. You would need to grab the OIDs, and I don't think we have the OID recipe list anymore, but if anyone has some that they'd like to share, you can do that too. That's not going to be like on your, servers and workstations and such, but you know, who knows? We're always looking at adding new things.
Yes. Chris just has a comment regarding the CC. The problem is that if the client does not reply all, Syncro drops the CC you added on the next page. And you mentioned he had this issue recently, and support did confirm this is how it is structured. Chris, you are correct, but we can absolutely pass along that feedback. I know that just like Brandy said, we're working on updating and adding new things all the time. And so we will absolutely provide that feedback for you. And then Warren, do you mind just confirming which report you're looking at? Because in the executive summary report builder right here, it won't be a new button here on this page. You're going to need to open the report templates, and then there'll be this button, which is new report template. If you're not seeing that, we definitely need to write that into support, and then that way they can help you out with that. And then Larry is asking, is it possible to enter time records as a tech, him being the admin? And then Brandy, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think that you can do that.
Nope.
Okay.
You wouldn't be able to change the technician.
Yep. Cool. All right, you guys. Whoa, we just went through a little flurry there, but the queue is now empty.
And hope everyone has a great Friday. See you later. Just kidding. We like to help you guys. This is fun. This is like what we look forward to most. Larry, I have a ton of questions. Oh no. No, I'm teasing. You can definitely ask those questions. I'll just go ahead and read through this. So is there a way to see if the techs are getting ticket emails? I don't see any audit. There's not an audit for that. That would be a feature request.
Right. And I'm wondering what you have set up. I'm just going to share my screen really quick for the notification center. If you are just wanting to triple check like that the emails are actually going to them, you can add in yourself into the same emails that they're getting, or you could even like add in a completely external email to then add in to see how the notifications are coming to them. This is really good if you're wanting to just test, getting different notifications and how they come through on emails, that then you could add in additional emails there to triple check how things come through.
Yep. So a couple more questions. Larry's firing away now. That's good. That's good. That's why we do these. So for the recurring invoicing, there is a way to not have it automatically send over. So let me just open this up. In the recurring invoice itself, if you choose this option here, or don't select it to email the customer the PDF, it won't. And then you'll notice down below that there's a list of all of the invoices down below. So you'll see this, and then if you want to email it over, you can do that. So those are going to be how you would do that. And then how to create a report to see daily tech hours billed or non-billed. So let me open up my reports. I could go on all day about reports. I like to build reports. This one isn't going to be like one that you build out, but if I go to let me find my ticket time by tech, and you said you wanted to see daily. So let me just do today, and then I can run this report. And oh, I didn't select any. So if I want to select everyone, I don't know if anyone else does any work, but let me run that. And then you'd see all of your different technicians, and it's not going to say the total hours like billed versus non-billed. It will say the total work hours, and then out to the right, you'll see if it's billed or not billed. Hopefully that helps a little bit, kind of.
Thank you for that. On the same subject as recurring invoices, Darren, I don't know how to do this, but I'm wondering if Brandy knows.
Yeah, so this question gets asked pretty often. Can I send a recurring invoice on the 25th of the month and have the billing start the first day of the month? All I see are the options where the billing starts the day of or ends. So this is where it gets tricky, because if you want the billing to start on the first day of the month, you wouldn't have anything the 26th through the 1st. Like that bill would never be created, essentially, because if you're sending the recurring invoice on the 25th, unless it's just like flat rate and there's absolutely no tickets and there's absolutely no changes in the number of devices and things like that. So you can send it on the 25th of the month with a pay date. You could have like a message in there that says, that it's due 14 days upon or after they're getting it, but you definitely do have to have it. The billing has to start the day of or day after invoice creation in terms for like those tickets to be on there. Or I don't know, I would say for something like that, if you're not pulling in, like, I don't know, I'd just send it on the 25th of the month, and then whatever day it's due, just make a note. And probably someone else in here has the same exact thing. So you guys can let us know how you handle that. I know that's asked pretty often.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that was the only thing I could think of is just adding, this invoice is for this time period.
Mm-hmm. Jeremy, background. I know a lot of people are always struggling with how to set up billing with different clients and subsites, etc., because of the duplicated email address issue. Pro tip, Microsoft 365 hosted Exchange now allows plus addressing, and this can now solve that problem for anybody using email through Microsoft. Okay, I think you guys can see this, but I'm going to drop it in the chat box just in case. Jeremy, thank you so much for posting this. That's why we love when you guys are involved, because we're not MSPs, and you guys do this in and out. So that is really, really awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Jeff, interesting that you asked this because this is coming really soon. I know we say really soon, but I promise Hannah and I just had a training on Monday on the policy inheritance. I think Andy even mentioned in the Facebook group that they started with a small group of people to test this. Testing went awesome. They're opening it up to a few others. And by few, like it really is like a small number of people as we're testing this. I would say, if I had to guess in the next, I don't know, few weeks, we'd probably be releasing that. But again, I'm not 100% certain on a day. You will, at that point, assign a policy to a customer. And then from there, and we can drop the video that we have, the deep dive video. I know they've updated and made some changes too, but we can drop the video for you so you can see it. You'll assign a policy to a customer and then little sub policies. Right now it's 1-to-1 ratio. It's per asset. Now I can show you if you want to just change. We could pretend we're in the assets in our MIM tab and we want to select all devices, or we want to look for like just Larry's devices, for example. I could find all of Larry's devices. I could select them in mass, and then I could just assign one policy. I could do that. So that right now is how you would handle that, but coming soon. It's gonna be awesome. And two, I know there's gonna be a lot of questions. Please don't ask a date range because we don't have it, but I know someone's going to. It touches every single aspect of the system, every single thing. So I promise you, you will appreciate that we are taking small steps to make sure everything is tested. Who's it gonna be?
And totally okay to be super excited though, because we are so excited. You guys are gonna love it. It's so great. Yay. Larry just has a question. Can you change a ticket status was changed to email template? And so Larry, I'm assuming that's a notification that's coming to the team. And so those notifications at this time are not customizable. Okay, it is a notification. Yep. Those notifications are not customizable. If you wanted to get specific notifications to your team that you really wanted to tailor, a good way to do that would be through ticket automations. And so Brandy, is it okay if I share my screen?
Cool. I guess so.
And so these ticket automations are designed to run every hour. And so with this, that if there was a custom notification that you wanted to give the team, that then you could set a particular condition here, and then as well as then go ahead and email either a custom email address or like send a manual SMS to team members, and then be able to use the template tags for a more of customized notification. And then just remember in the automations to have kind of an ending action so that then it's not just running all the time. And then hopefully that answers your question. There is a second question. What if you have a typo in the initial issue description on a ticket? Can you edit it? And so that's a really good question. Brandy, do you know the answer to this? That if it is edited here, let's see, in the initial issue type. I am kind of thinking that that's not editable once it is submitted.
Yeah, because you have to think the initial email, like some people have that initial diagnostic or whatever initial issue type go to customers like via email. Some people turn that feature off, but if you do, like, you can't edit an email that's already been sent. So I think that is meant to be like, I don't think you can edit that.
Yeah, I would triple check with support on that one as well, because you could edit the subject here, and especially if you create that ticket, then that is editable, but we wouldn't want to break, of course, the communication that's already ongoing.
Mm-hmm. Ticket automations every hour. Is that what he's referring to? Ticket automations are once every hour. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I do feel like that is, I could be off, but I thought that we were working on that maybe to be a little bit more live, like automated remediations are live. As soon as the issue happens, those happen in real time. So possibly, I think that's been a feature request.
Yeah, I think I heard that too, that we were trying to hopefully bring those closer to more real time.
And Chris, I haven't read through this yet, but he says, something I discovered this week that others might find useful is you can grab one or move comments in a ticket to split into a new ticket. I found this as an awesome feature, as oftentimes clients seem to respond to an old ticket about a new support request. So that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Chris. I love this, you guys, sharing your little nuggets or gems with others. That's very, very helpful.
Yes, thank you guys for that. That's also just so much fun to be able to spend this time to hang out with you guys, to hear how everything is going, what questions do you have, but also for you guys to share all the cool things that you're figuring out. So thank you. Warren is asking how to automate a disk cleanup. And so I think we've mentioned automated remediations a couple times. Those are definitely one of our favorite features. And so with disk cleanups and different actions, that automated actions can be prompted from those alerts that are created. So I'm here in the alerts tab, and you can click automated remediation. And so in here, when we're creating a automated remediation, that you'll pick a condition. And so that condition can be low hard drive space for cleaning up disks. It can be service and process monitors. It can be just alert body text. So you can really get customized. And so let's say the trigger is going to be low hard drive space. And then I had somebody the other day where he said, well, he doesn't want it to happen on absolutely everything, maybe just for one customer. So you can actually add granular conditions. So if you want it to only be on one customer, or maybe run in a specific business hours, or only apply to devices within a specific policy or a specific device itself. You can add a granular condition, and then from there, be able to run actions. So a remediation action, like running a script. That way we're automating that disk cleanup. If this is something that you are including with your customer's contract, so it's not necessarily something you have to bill for, but maybe you want to just document it so that you can be reportable. You can actually convert it to a ticket and then just have it be a resolved ticket and use different template tags here to customize what gets added there and then be able to clear the alert from there. So hopefully that helps. Let us know if you have any other questions.
It's like every 15 minutes we get a slew of questions and then no more. I haven't read through this, Larry, but how exactly to use the timer on a ticket? It seems conflicting that you can enter time on communication entry and the labor log. What is the correct way to do this? If you enter a labor log, customer does not get any updates on that as far as I know, or do they? I'm trying to get a flow down to tell my techs how to enter details and time efficiently, just a little confused. So That's a great question. And honestly, if anyone in the group wants to share how they use it too, you can feel free to do so. I will say in the ticket entry, like if let me just open up a ticket here. Do, do, do. So like if you're adding time in a ticket, in the communication section, yes, I could send it off as an email. If you want to make a note and log minutes spent here. Typically, I would say people aren't like letting someone know every time you're adding labor. I mean, you guys can let me know if I'm wrong there, but I would think like even me as a customer, if someone was working on my car and they did 10 minutes of work or an hour of work, I don't think I would want to get an update every single time you were adding time. I could be totally off. So you guys let me know. A lot of people will use the timer from what I hear is just so that they're not like maybe I show up on site and I want to time how long I'm there and I'm going to go ahead and charge that time afterwards. Or if I want to make sure I'm always rounding up, right? I have a minimum number of minutes that I'm going to spend, but others will also use this timer. And then if there was an asset inside of this ticket, I could also now start my remote session. I could be running scripts. I'm truly counting how much time I'm doing rather than guessing the actual time that I was there. I have some people that tell me they don't use the timer at all and others that do everything by the timer. So I would say that's actually a good like poll question that we should ask someday is like, how do you log time? Do you use the timer? Do you use communications? Do you view log? But those are some different ways that people will use that.
Thank you. Oh,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, he says it would be great if anyone could share how they're using the timer. We're coming from ConnectWise Manage and it's just totally different. Yeah. Chris says, I rarely use the timer unless it's something that I have to do, like a phone call to a vendor on a client's behalf. Most of the time, I just use the add and view charges button.
Very
Nice.
nice.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. William has a question. When creating a search, why is not equal not an option? For example, application not equal to a version number. That is a good question. I was taking a look in here, and where William is referring to is in the saved asset searches. So I'm here on the assets and RMM page, and then in the magnifying glass here under new search, he's referencing specifically this version comparison. And so there's not a not equal to. I'm wondering, William, if you've tried the less than or equal to and gotten a similar to like a not equal result. I'm wondering if that would be the closest thing to get you to something like that. Otherwise, I would definitely recommend writing into support to see if they have any other advice with that. And then that way, if it is just not really giving you what you're needing, that we would absolutely add that as a feature request. One other place that you do have the equal, not equal is going to be in the property conditions. So if we're getting a very granular search here and we're wanting to add a property condition, this is pretty cool. You can add in like system specifications, you can add in custom fields, which is awesome. And so if I was going to pick this one, that this one does have a not equal and some other property conditions here. Okay, and then Larry has a question. What shows on the invoice, the log or the communication entry? So Larry, you're actually going to choose what shows there. And so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. And so in the admin screen, so I'm heading over to admin and I'm going to go to tickets and ticket preferences. And then I'm going to scroll down to additional settings. And then there's going to be this box here that says customized text for ticket timer charges. And so this is how then if you want this tag to show up into your invoice, so it's like you're going to press the timer and you want the notes that you're putting there to show up on the invoice, that then you can add that there. Otherwise, it's going to be public notes that are on the invoice that shows up on like as your line items on the invoice there. And then with the invoices inside of Syncro, you do have the option to add in like an additional page for the ticket details. So if we were to go ahead and check out this guy, and then where to open that PDF. And sorry, guys, it's a little small, but that's okay. We'll zoom in here. So this description detail, you can use different tags to customize what you see there. And then all of the public notes are going to be here on this next page.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Please help me get a feature request. You have to make 2 searches to get the same result. We will definitely pass that along for sure. And then Gary is just sharing, I want to show something with this too, but he says we also came from ConnectWise Manage. We use the timer sometimes, but we find it very convenient to just add the time in minutes when we add a ticket note. I wish there was a way to also enter as hours. So let me just share my screen with you, because what you can do on this ticket too, so you have 4 ways actually to enter labor. You have the timer, you have view log, you have communications, and then if you go to add and view charges, you can actually add, like if I want to put labor in here and I just want to add like 3 hours, that would also do it. So I don't know if that helps you, but that would be how you would just add the hours. Hopefully that helps.
And
It
then
all helps. Love it.
keep it coming, Larry. Keep it coming. Gary's saying it would be nice if the preview windows were resizable. Yes, Gary. Yes, it would. And so we will pass that along for sure. Okay, while the queue remains empty, I'm going to share something that I learned the other day. And so in the alerts tab, if you guys haven't checked out, actually, let me start over here in the assets and RMM. So if you guys haven't checked out where you can click on the magnifying glass to see your quick actions, this is awesome. You can remote in from right here, run scripts to this device, start chats with it, open a new ticket. So that will pull the device inside the ticket for you, get a preview of system details, and then even a thumbnail of the screen if alerts are firing, and custom fields. So this is awesome. And this magnifying glass is pretty much going to be everywhere the asset is. And so then it clicked to me, oh, then it's also going to be on the alerts page, because someone asked the other day, hey, if I see an alert really quick and I just want to run a quick script to solve it, how can I do that just from this page? Well, the magnifying glass, it's right there. And so you can just go ahead and run a quick script to then remediate that alert and then go ahead and clear it. And so that was something super cool that just on the demo, I was like, oh yeah, there's that magnifying glass right there.
Awesome. Does not help. Many more steps to do it that way. Okay. I gotcha. No, I totally understand. We'll definitely pass that along. I appreciate that. And then in relation to integrations, does Syncro seek these out or wait for other tools to contact you? Really good question. We do have a team. We have a team for integrations. And so we do both. Some tools contact us, and then we also reach out to other tools. So it's kind of a combination of both. And with our integrations, some are built by Syncro, and some are also built by the third-party tool. So it really just kind of depends on what the integration is. But yeah, we're always seeking new integrations too. We've added quite a few in the last couple months. Larry also says we had invoices imported from ConnectWise by Syncro support, and they all said credit card as the payment type. Is there any way to change it to check? Did you, interesting, because I would, oh, they couldn't do it on the import. That's what I was going to say. If you can export and then import. I'm not sure, honestly. Probably can't change it. I mean, let me just look here. Let me just share my screen. I'm assuming you've probably done this already, but without like bulk doing it, I don't think we can do it as a bulk action. I wonder if, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, obviously you could go in individually. I'm also wondering if you select these invoices that they imported. So let me just like select some here. Bulk actions. quick pay. I just wanted to see if it was going to ask me how I took payment, but it didn't. No, I'm sorry. I'll confirm, and it sounds like if they said no, then we couldn't. But yeah, let me keep looking. I mean, individually, you can go in and you can edit any of those if you want to. You would just go edit and change the actual payment method. Sorry about that. This is a good question. So when you mute an alert, does it mute the whole alert policy or the exact error that was found? For example, if I mute HDD alert on a computer for alerting a problematic USB drive, will it also mute the alert from reporting that primary hard drive is failing? It is only going to mute that particular alert that you are selecting. So for example, here's my list of alerts. It didn't matter if these two were in line together. Like if this is failing and that's one alert and this is a different one for HDD alert, if they're two separate alerts, it's only going to mute this exact alert right here. I can mute that forever for any given amount of time for a specific or all assets. So that's how you would handle it.
Guys, this is really funny. It's like literally every 15 minutes that it's like just this little
It
lull.
is. Yep. We don't have a ton whew, it's Friday. It feels like Monday. We don't have a ton of links in the chat box for you guys already, but this is like your 19-minute warning. So if you want to grab the support email, if you want to grab the exporting data, the policy inheritance video, you can. And then of course, Jeremy in here posted, I think it was Jeremy, about like the duplicate emails. So if you guys want to grab those, that would be excellent. Maybe there's a topic that you want to learn more about, like someone asked about leads, the CRM, the mailer, documentation, whatever it is that you guys want us to go through, saved asset searches, automations. Let us know. That's what we're here for. Or if you want to poll the group about anything else. Gary says you can update all the invoices via API if it is worth come effort. So thank you for that. You guys are like really active today with helping each other, so we appreciate that. I think majority of you guys are customers of Syncro already, so we like you guys helping each other. What else? What else? Why, when a ticket comes in, the email says it's a lead and it is also on the ticket?
Larry, those two modules are just connected right now. And so that's why you'll get a double notification. You can turn off the leads notification. And I think that that's something, at least from like our implementation specialist, I've heard that they're kind of looking at separating. But right now those modules are just connected. And so then that's why you'll get both notifications.
If it's not a lead though, would you? If it was a customer?
So I think that it always creates it, like if it's going to create a ticket, it's always going to create a lead also. But if it's a lead only, then you can have it like not create a ticket at all. But yeah, I think it always is too. If you guys haven't seen, there was kind of a cool update from, I know Brandy mentioned earlier about like that there was a pilot group for policy inheritance, but Andy just did a post on our Facebook user group, just kind of an update. I don't know if he put it on the subreddit also, just with some cool things that we've been working on, as well as, you know, what's coming in the future with a couple of things. So if you guys haven't seen that, definitely check that out because we've definitely have some cool, exciting things coming.
Yeah. And we also want to be a lot more transparent. I think as a company, we're super transparent and we want to communicate with you guys, but even more so. Just found the ticket grouping option 2 days ago, and that is just a lifesaver. Awesome. We like that. We're saving lives over here. Or maybe if you guys have found a new feature that has changed how you do things, like feel free to share that and we can show others. I don't know. What do you guys want to know? You guys are sleepy or something today.
We can show icons again.
I know every week someone wants that. It's funny. Chris, I didn't know about the grouping. That's cool. I have a lot of QuickBooks. Yeah, nothing we can solve here, unfortunately, Larry. Just reach out to support and they'll be able to assist you. Maybe we can get someone on the line with you for that.
Yes, and then I'll go ahead and share my screen.
I'm getting lots of haws.
Ha, I love that. Okay, so Anonymous is asking how to split the comments. And Chris, I think you mentioned this earlier, that this was what you found that you really liked. So if somebody is basically answering an older ticket with a new issue, that then under the communications box, when they make that comment, you can come down to it and split that into a new ticket. So when you do that, you'll get an option for a new ticket subject and then a new ticket status. So we'll put new, and then it'll include that comment, and then you'll split that into the new ticket. And so then here's our new ticket. And then it'll go ahead and put in that history. And so that's definitely really helpful if someone is answering to an old ticket. There's also a setting in the admin section under tickets and preferences. I think it's the last one in the additional settings, to then create a new ticket if a customer replies to an old ticket that was resolved for more than X days ago. So then that way, let's say it is, I can definitely understand the split the ticket if it's resolved and then, within 1 or 2 days. But like, let's say you wanted to put 3 days in there. And then that way, if they reply to that old one, it's generating that new ticket for you.
Thanks, Hannah. I just posted a link to the YouTube channel. I think that link should take you directly to the open office hour sessions that we post. So I'll just show you real quickly. We group them all in, I can't believe we've been doing this for so long. We used to not, I don't even think we used to post all of them. So there's so many more. But this will give you like all of the, I guess, since May of 2020, all of the open office hour sessions that we've been doing, as long as we didn't forget to record.
And then Larry is asking, is there a way to default type on a ticket, like to remote? There's a couple of different places that you can do that. I'm really sorry if you guys can hear. Someone is like, I think my neighbor is having the gardening done and it's leaf blowing in the background.
I can't hear anything.
Okay, good. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is just like, okay, so a couple different places, and it'll depend on how the tickets are getting opened. So if the client is opening tickets via an inbound mailbox, that then inside your mailbox that you can default it to open into that specific issue type. So like you're saying, remote support, okay, perfect. Right here inside the mailbox, it's going to open into this specific issue type. If they're opening the ticket from the system tray icon, that's actually going to be done inside the form, which is the agent contact form. So under policies, in agent contact forms, it's going to ask you for, when you're creating this form, a specific issue type that you want it to open into. And then that way, when the end user is opening the ticket from here, that it's going to open into that issue type already.
Okay, that was a 7-minute increment. And I apologize, my dog is going insane right now. 12 minutes, guys. What else? Can we create separate locations for the same company so that we can separate the assets? Yeah, let's do it. Okay. So under a customer, let me just open up a customer here. You guys are able to see my screen, I think. Okay, customer. If you scroll down under this customer, you're going to see multiple sites and locations. And I would just add different sites and locations here. A few different places where this is going to come into play. So since we have the time, I'll go ahead and go through those. Your contacts can actually be assigned to different locations, and then your assets can be too. So under an asset, you'll see, and keep in mind, if you guys don't see this here, if you just customize, I'm on the assets and RMM screen, you can reorder and pick and choose what's going to be shown. And then you can assign these to actual locations. And then if, for example, I just want to look for Larry's devices at a specific location, you could do that too. And then this dashboard will just update with those devices. So hopefully that helps.
Awesome. Okay, while we're waiting for a couple more questions in here, I'll just share my screen and share with you guys, just if you guys have not become a set up for our referral program. If you refer a fellow MSP and they are, or internal IT team, and they are not already a Syncro customer for you to refer them, you can actually get a $100 gift card and they could get a $100 gift card. And so if you guys have not done that yet and get set up, you can do that in the App Center. And so under More, under App Center, you're able to go ahead and click on the referral program. And so with this, that it would actually have you create your own referral account and give you links to go ahead and send to your friends or your referrals for them to reach out to Syncro. And then once they've been a subscribed Syncro member for 60 days, or essentially subscribed for 2 months, that then you would get your $100 gift card, which is awesome.
Larry, we don't discriminate. MSPs and internal IT. I know as an MSP, you're like, no, we want their business and we don't want them to take it internally. I get that, but we have a lot of both. He is asking, is there any way to categorize the documents? Is that not? Is that? Ugh, if not, is that something that's on the roadmap? Categorize. So let me just open this, and I'm assuming you're referring to like the documentation section. I don't know if like you can of course create like a last week actually Tatiana did it. She showed how to do like the left nav and such, and you can definitely do that and kind of categorize them that way. But keep in mind, like if you want to search, so I can search keywords. I think I even did one during open office hours and we were searching. So if you want to search, you can absolutely find like the wiki pages up here. So definitely keep in mind you can do that. Yeah, the search is good. I like that too for specific customers. Like if I search all things for Larry, funny Larry, but Larry's business is like our famous, we should change the name, but he's like our famous guy on here that owes us a lot of money, but pays a lot of money too. If you search Larry, it's going to show all devices, all contacts, all documentation pages I've created for Larry. So that can be really helpful too.
I also like the icons in the search. I think you showed that a couple times. So when you are looking up somebody, that
Yes.
then, yeah, these icons here are awesome because you can just go straight to their estimates, to their invoices, to their tickets. If I wanted to see all of their devices, it opens into a nice new tab for me. And then that way, here are all of Larry's devices. So I love those too.
And those icons actually came directly from the community. When we did the community driven feature track list in our Facebook group, that was a suggestion. And I do think that Andy even alluded to us opening those back up again and doing those again. There's even a little Screen Connect icon. Oh, see, I don't have Screen Connect connected on here, but that's awesome. So you could go into whichever one that you're wanting to go to. I feel robbed because Crystal and Tatiana are MIA. Wow, are we not good enough for you? No, Crystal Tatiana is taking some time off. So we're letting her do that. And then Crystal got pulled into a last minute meeting. She's pretty important around here. So they got her today. But we didn't want to leave you guys hanging. So we're here with you.
Yeah, Jorge, you got us. That's awesome.
Nonsense. No, we love doing this for you guys.
It really is fun.
It's crazy. This all came about like since we don't have questions. It was I think it's been 2 years now, like September. I remember I went up to Spokane, met with Crystal, Tatiana, Ian. We were just in a team meeting and we're like, we should start doing these open office hours for our users. And we started with like a really small group, and every single Friday since we've been doing it, like 2 years. It's crazy.
It's awesome.
Hmm.
And we get
Some
to
of you
learn.
guys probably been here since the beginning. Tired of us.
It's fun that we get to learn from you guys too, and to have you guys make comments to share with each other, because that is so awesome.
Someone a couple weeks ago when I wasn't here wanted a deep dive on customer portal. So we ended up doing that last week. If you guys have a topic that you want us to do like a deep dive on next week, let us know. You guys can drop those in the chat box too. And hopefully we can get some guest speakers on here too soon to go through some stuff. But if you have any topics, let us know, and maybe we can prep those for next week. In the ticket communication box, is there a way we can add a template that helps to create more detailed notes in the ticket? You know what? There isn't like, I mean, you could use canned responses, but if you're looking to have like some type of template to create more detailed notes, honestly, I would use worksheets. So let me just create this really quickly to show you how easy it is. So for example, if whoops, I'm going to do the virus removal. So I have a couple different options here. Let's just create this ticket, and I want to show you the automation that auto populates here. So inside of this ticket that was created, I already have a worksheet that attaches. So this is like a list of things I need to do based on a specific custom field. So this would be a nice template just to make sure that everyone is staying on the same page. You could do that. You also have like different canned responses that you could insert in here too. I don't even know if these have any information, but you could do that if you wanted to. Chris says, I actually prefer the worksheets over the checklists I used to use in IT Glue. I can say that here, right? Absolutely. You can say whatever you want here. Open plugin development in the community. Well, we have some openings for developer positions here with Syncro. So if anyone wants to come work with us, no, I appreciate that though. You should definitely reach out to our support team and then let them know, and then maybe someone can reach out to you to help out with that. I know other RMMs that have marketplace and developers sell plugins, and Syncro take 20%. I'd reach out to support with your ideas. Deep dive on some integration, start with Zapier. We've had people asking about Zapier for a while. So yeah, I think that's definitely something. We don't have Zapier connected, nor do we have other third-party tools that we have connected to our account. So we probably wouldn't be the best for that, but maybe we can have like another MSP do that. Or if one of you guys wants to volunteer to do that, show us what you're using with Zapier, that'd be cool. And then Larry says, how do you get hours to come off of block hours? So once they're invoiced, the labor is what deducts prepaid hours. So once they're invoiced, you'll notice that those hours are deducted.
I was just going to unmute really quick, and then I couldn't find my unmute. Larry, I'm going to drop for you. I think it was Tatiana actually who did an open office hour session one time on deep hour. Block hours, not deep hours. What are those? And so I'm going to go ahead and drop it in the chat box for you.
And you don't have to have the text doing the invoicing. I mean, the thing is that once you send like the recurring invoice, for example, it will deduct those hours, and then it will bill them for any hours over that. You can get a report on prepaid hour balances, like when those reach 0. There's also a report for you to see prepaid hours too. So unless you're just like replenishing those as soon as they're at 0, which in that case you could just do, that would be hard too. Yeah, I would take a peek at that. All right.
All right, everybody. There's 1 minute left. If anybody wants to put in a last question. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for joining today. Thank you, Jeremy. Have an awesome day. And we are going to be here at the same exact time next week. And so we will look forward to seeing you then. And other than that, thank you guys so much for joining.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Bye.